Shalom, shalom. IUIC Los Angeles, back again with another edition of Cuts from the Streets. Today we're downtown Los Angeles, here to talk to our people about New Year's. I'm Tovaya.
This is Jeshurun.
Let's see what happens.
Right now, we're at the block on 7th Street, and I'm with my brother.
Yeah, Eric.
We got Eric right here. Eric, we appreciate the time.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
The topic of the day, New Year's. So, when you think of New Year's, what typically goes on during that time?
Partying.
Partying. Hey, look, right to the point, right? So, with that being said, the partying, what goes on with the partying? Like, give me some perspective. What be going on?
Oh man, straight up debauchery. I mean, it could be partying, but also preparation. You know, either or. I'm a DJ, so that's why I get like both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So
we get the inside feed, huh?
Oh yeah, no facts.
Shalom, Tovaya Judah here with my brother
Mike.
Brother Mike. So today, Brother Mike, we down here in downtown LA, and we're talking about New Year's, right? All right, so what exactly is New Year's? What can you tell me about it?
New Year's is what people refer to as almost like a fresh start. You know what I mean? They go through their own trials and tribulations throughout the year, and they look at New Year's as a new opportunity for the most part. And I think a New Year is just a fresh start.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Jeshurun right here, and I'm with my brother.
Hombre.
Brother Hombre, it's good to have this conversation with you right now. What we're talking about is New Year's. It's coming up. What you think about that?
Gratitude.
Okay.
Yeah, just gratitude. Just thankful to have made it over, to have seen this year through, to have survived it. I know a lot of people, including my grandmother, which is a matriarch of our family, who didn't survive it. So it was a big kind of like put things in perspective moment. And I think that the best thing that I could offer or to say is that I'm grateful to have made it, because some people did not.
Jermaine.
All right, so Jermaine, man, we down here talking to people about the upcoming holiday. You know what it is?
Yeah, the New Year's is coming up.
Yeah, man, the New Year's is coming up, man. So give me your perspective. What you think about it?
I just feel like the New Year is just a time to just reflect on what's happened in the previous year and just get ready for what you have to come in the New Year. So if you have any goals or aspirations, you just need to have them in mind and just be prepared to take them on throughout the whole year. So I just feel like it's a time of reflection, really, preparation.
Okay, a time of preparation and reflection. All right. So, bro, what's the origin of that? Where does that thing come from, New Year?
I'm not too sure. It's probably something that we made as man. Because I don't think there's anything in the Bible that has to influence the New Year. But, I mean, I feel like it's a time for celebration, so some people probably look at it as a holiday. I really haven't seen it like that. I mean, it's a time to celebrate because, I mean, you made it, so you should be happy that you got to see another day, that God bless you to see another day.
Monique, all up and down the coast of California, getting it in. Monique, today we're talking to people about, there's a holiday coming up. We want to talk to the people about it. Do you know what it is?
New Year's, right?
Okay, so New Year's. So what can you tell me about New Year's? What can you tell me about it?
It's my favorite holiday. Like, my parents used to throw parties, and then, like, we would go out there. When I remember when I was a little kid, we'd go out there with pots and pans and bang on them as soon as it was New Year's. It was beautiful. This is before Y2K.
So me personally, I might be in that kind of environment, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not necessarily partaking the way that others might be, you know what I'm saying? And me personally, I have a vision going forward for myself, you know, and a plan, and et cetera. So, yeah.
Okay, so your mindset is not really so much as the New Year's celebration, but what you can do to succeed for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and you know what? That's a good thing, because I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people probably don't know this, but the celebration, the debauchery that you're talking about, there is some history behind New Year's. Do you know about that?
Not really, but I believe you. You know, the pagan rituals and stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Ooh, you kind of on point, man.
And the truth shall set you free.
What I want to just bring up, let's get to the nitty gritty.
Oh yeah.
New Year's celebration, right? January 1st, December 31st to January 1st. that custom and tradition came from Greco-Roman pagan worship. And you mentioned some debauchery and partying. That all stemmed from back then. They will go out in the streets. They'll basically have orgies with each other.
Are you gonna celebrate New Year?
I'll be working, but I'll be celebrating a little bit.
Okay, so you're gonna work, but if you didn't have to work, you would celebrate?
Yeah, I would celebrate.
How do you celebrate it, man? What are some of the things, the customs that you know you're gonna pull into it if you had an opportunity?
Just being around family, and I know people like to, drink and pop champagne, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I think it's just more of a celebration, just a culmination of the year and being around my family, just kind of taking it all in and sharing what we plan on doing for the upcoming year.
Do you know about the Roman god Janus? Have you heard about that before?
Roman god Janus.
Does that come to mind?
I've heard it, but I don't know the history, so no. I'll say no, but I've heard it before.
I bet you're wondering why I'm mentioning the Roman god.
I'm interested.
Okay, so a lot of American traditions and holidays stem from Greco-Roman culture, customs, and mythology. One of those is New Year's. What the New Year's stemmed from was the pagan worship of the Roman god Janus, which was the god of gateways, out with the old, in with the new. It was a two-headed deity that they worshiped. And the ritual behind that was the festivities of reveling, partying in the street, drunkenness, and a lot of sexual misconduct. Does that seem to stem with today's society?
Add in education to my reflection when I think about the new year, and that's kind of what I thought about when you just said that. Is if you're gonna, be in gratitude, also add education in there, as well as, getting with the people and congregating and stuff like that. But what you're doing and what you're talking about feeds you. So I'm sure there are versions out there that's not necessarily the vibe that I'm on, but I've definitely seen that, and maybe in the past, maybe in my college days, been a part of it too.
New Beginnings is actually the celebration of the god Janus. That was instituted in the time of Rome. Janus is a 100% Roman pagan deity. What I'm trying to bring to your attention is the origins of New Year is actually paganistic.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think that's interesting, and I don't think a lot of people kind of know about that. Like you said, it was kind of like transferred from the Gregorian calendar, and I think people do kind of just refer to, Christmas, New Year, and those kind of things. So I think that is really interesting because not a lot of people are educated in that sense.
One thing you said was you're not sure if it's something that's in the Bible. Why would you take it there?
I mean, I guess because you asked where did it come from, so I don't know exactly where it came from. So it had to come from man. So if man made it, then definitely not. I haven't read it in the Bible or anything like that, so I don't see this as nothing biblical. So.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
When you celebrate and you party and then you only understand the tradition of the New Year's we know in America, you're inadvertently celebrating Greco-Roman pagan worship. Is that safe to say?
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, do you think that New Year's is of God? Once again, I'm going back to the same. I'm going right back to it. Do you think that's of God? And if not, should we celebrate it?
The celebration of New Year's isn't of God, but people have made it godly. So I know in the past that I've been bringing in the New Year, I've been in church. You feel me?
Okay, bro. Hey, listen. You might be one of the rare brothers, man. But come on, bro. Keep it 100 with me, man. What our people doing on New Year's, bro? Come on, keep it real, bro.
I guess it's all based on what's going on in your life. So if you in a point in life if you in darkness and you feel like that's the way to bring you happiness, and you go to the club and do this and that and the third, then by all means, like I said, you have a choice to do those things. But some people do make the choice to like go to church and bringing the New Year's that way.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
So with that being said, do you think with the understanding you have and some of the things we're discussing right now, should we really be celebrating the New Year's that we know from America traditions?
I mean, I don't really know.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So, but I mean, most of the time, most people probably are just embodying and just like other things, entertainment-wise.
Like what? Like what?
I mean, strip club, you feel me? Strip club, you know what I'm saying? Betting, gambling, you feel me? Like, I don't know, man. Just, yeah, anything with the turn up. So, I mean, those aren't necessarily the wrong thing to do.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You sure, bro? Come on now.
I mean, you can do the things that you do and still be a godly person. So, you know.
How about new?
Hey, Mike, I love that you said that, man. You're open to learning more about it if the opportunity came. So what I want to do, man, is I want to introduce some biblical things to you to just kind of give you an explanation and show you why we say what we say while we're on the street, to kind of educate our people on these kinds of feast days.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So the month of Abib is the beginning of months.
I want to get one more scripture that talks about the debacle and debauchery and the wild nights, and because you know, when I think of New Year's, I think of the firecrackers, people shooting guns in the air, fornication in the clubs. You know what I mean? So exactly. Read what you got.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Because the will of the Gentiles, while we were living like that in that manner, we were partying, reveling, doing all kinds of wickedness. God just said that time should suffice you. Meaning what?
That should be enough.
That should be enough. We shouldn't be doing that anymore.
Yeah.
It's time to start waking up to what you should be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're going to finish that.
When we walked in lasciviousness.
Now it's explaining how we were walking in those manners of the Gentiles. And when I say Gentiles, it's talking about the other nations, such as the Romans. So let's finish reading.
When we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wines, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatry.
And what?
Abominable idolatry.
So the lasciviousness, the evil sexual desires, the lust of the flesh, the partying, we've been doing that, and we're still doing that to this day, even so much as the abominable idolatry. Because when we celebrate New Year's, we're celebrating Janus.
Yeah. Crazy.
So at the end of the day, that's why I actually know, should we, with all the information, I mean, this came from the Bible.
Yeah.
Should we really be celebrating those abominable things?
Yeah. No, we shouldn't.
Perhaps you're right.
Okay, the Feast of Unleavened Bread is the same feast as the Passover. They're both between March and April. This is the beginning of months for us. This is the actual New Year. In the spring, when stuff is new, when the leaves are growing and animals mate and all of that makes sense, right? Not instead of the dead of winter. What do you think about that?
I think that definitely makes more sense. Like you said, it does. That gives a more vivid representation of like a fresh start. Like you said, in spring, when kind of like it recycles, almost like what the New Year is. It's kind of like fresh trees, fresh season, fresh grass, everything around us. And like you said, it was like at the end of March, beginning of April, and so it does.
And it's amazing that that's always been in the Bible, and it just makes sense. Oh, the New Year, it must be when everything is new. Instead of the dead to winter, snow on the ground, there's nothing alive, there's leaves drop off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, we're gonna get the month, the definition of the month, Abib, for you. A-B-I-B. You got it?
Yep. So this is the definition of Abib from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. The first month of the ancient Hebrew calendar corresponding to Nisan.
Okay, so that was the first month of the year, the month Abib. Right. And according to the Bible and according to nature, you think that changed?
It says the month of the sun, the first month of the sun.
No, Nisan. So when we went into the Babylonian captivity, the Babylonians put names on our months. They renamed it. So Abib and Nisan is the same month. What I'm trying to get to is the Bible has always been factual in when the new year is. We've been misguided. We've been misled to think that, hey, it begins in the dead of winter. So knowing this new information, what do you think about New Year?
I think New Year, the holiday, like beginning of January, end of December.
Yeah.
I think it's just like more of a man-made kind of thing. And I think based on the definition, I would definitely believe that New Year or the new opportunity is in the beginning of spring, at the end of March, when the sun starts to come out, all the life starts to come back, as opposed to the dead of winter, like you said.
Hey, all praises, all praises. So now that you know that, what about the celebration? You think you would still partake in the celebration of that thing if you didn't have to work?
With that knowledge, no, I don't believe so.
There is a new year, but the question is it in the dead of winter where there's no life and everything's cold and tired and sleep? Or is it during another season like new life, rebirth, the end of hibernation when it comes to nature? We're going to see that in the scriptures. So are you familiar with the Exodus?
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, so during that time, it was the Passover, and we observed the month of Abib. And the reason why I mention these things is because when we celebrate the Passover, that was the mark of the new year. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7. Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
Okay, so bro, the Bible is asking a question. Why does one day excel another day? The sun come up every day just like every other day. It's going to answer that question.
By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them hath he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them hath he made ordinary days.
You see that? The Bible was real clear, bro. It said by the knowledge of the Lord, the days were established. Some of them days, he made them high days, but the other days, bro, they ordinary days. So back to your point about New Year's being something that is man-made. If it's man-made, is that a day that the Lord made a high day?
No, it's not.
Bro, we know better, but because it's tradition, hey, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it for the kids. Hey, you know what? We do this every year, bro. We go out and we, go to the bar or we go wherever, pop the bottles and do it because it's tradition, even though we probably know better. So, what do you think about that, man?
When you put some thought into it, it's just kind of just knowing good from bad, right from wrong, light from dark. We always know that it's there, but we have a choice, and that's the one thing that's amazing. The kind of God that we serve is a God that gives us a choice.
Hey, that's a wrap, folks. This has been another edition of Cuts from the Streets, Los Angeles. We are IUIC Los Angeles. I'm Tovai Judah.
Jeshurun.
See you next time.